Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Let everyone filter in here. How's it going? Audio sound good? Everything looking good? Cool. All right. Yeah, let's get stuck into it. Um, right now we have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for New York City, actually, coming into New York City from the southwest side. We have this line segment, cluster, supercell, whatever you want to call it, coming into south side of New York City. That has 70-mile-per-hour winds, considerable damage threat, so you're going to want to be inside, taking shelter for this storm here. Not too common we get these in New York, in this surrounding area, so definitely keep an eye out. Thanks, penguins. Appreciate it. Broadly, we have a kind of a damaging wind event going on in parts of New England right now, up through eastern Massachusetts, Connecticut. You're pretty much done. Pretty much just damaging winds. I don't think the tornado threat is very substantial, if anything at all. I don't think we've had much of that. So, but you can see we've had numerous scattered damaging wind reports throughout the entire kind of New England area. So, Providence, Rhode Island, Pawtucket, you guys have gotten some damaging winds. The good news is this will be moving out over the next few minutes, probably next 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Start to move out over the Atlantic. Still gotta keep an eye on this severe thunderstorm warning in New York, though. I don't think tornado threat's low, but if it's able to kind of grab that outflow boundary, maybe we could see a brief tornado. I don't think it's going to be anything substantial, if it happens at all. So we need to just keep an eye on it for now. Back to the west, we have severe thunderstorm warning for Allentown, Schuylkill Haven, Hamburg, Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Oh wait, is this? No, that's Pennsylvania, not West Virginia. My bad. Here is the stuff that was in West Virginia earlier. This is now in Virginia, and also just a pretty normal or typical severe thunderstorm warning with 60-mile-per-hour winds, less than an inch of hail. So here towards Pittsburgh, we just had another severe thunderstorm warning issued. Yep, just 60-mile-per-hour winds, less than an inch of hail. So hail's really not going to be a big thing today, at least in this area. I think that's going to be further back to the west where we might see some hail, especially up in our North Dakota sector for today. We also have, let me show you real quick, our risk areas. We have 3 slight risks today. Level 2 is at 2 out of 5s for North Dakota, Kansas into Missouri, as well as New England that we just touched on earlier. New England is primarily a damaging wind threat. Let me see if I can pull that up. So yeah, there you go. Oh, that's not it. Okay. Yeah, so you can see the SPC outlook in the top left corner. Blow my camera. You should be able to see that. But that's going to be our official SPC outlook. This is now displayed on Radar Omega. You can see each of the risk areas, but the cool thing with Radar Omega is you can go deeper and look at the individual risks. So this is our tornado risk for today. We have a 5% for Topeka, Emporia, Kansas City, Kansas into Missouri. 5% is like slightly elevated tornado threat. I wouldn't say worst case scenario. We're not expecting any strong tornadoes, which is going to be slightly above normal for tornadic activity. We have a 2% up in North Dakota into northern Minnesota, and that's it for our tornado threat. 2% is more like we could see a tornado or two. 5% is like a few tornadoes, none strong. So that's the tornado risk today. If we go towards our wind threat, yellow denotes our 15% contour, and the brown is the 5%. 15 is like higher, slightly higher chance for some scattered damaging winds, none strong. So nothing crazy today. And our hail risk for North Dakota is also 15%, surrounded by a 5%. So scattered, large hail, not anything gigantic, probably maybe 2 inches at most. But we might be able to see some slightly larger than that. But it's going to be scattered, not widespread. Okay, let's get back to the coverage. Hey, Amy, how's it going? We had some flood reports out of Chicago today. Earlier, a few hours ago, like an hour, 2 hours ago, we had some flooding, so a considerable flash flood warning for the Chicago metro. That has now moved out. Should be seeing those flood waters recede a bit if they haven't already, which is good. But other than that, we're kind of seeing our different zones today start to wake up, especially this New England corridor. That's been pretty active and had an early start this afternoon. The rest of our risk areas, our Kansas kind of risk area, looks like it's just starting to get going. You can see we have a few discrete supercells firing here. We need to watch these for potential tornado threat with any discrete supercell that can manage to mature and rotate to produce a tornado. We're already seeing some hints of rotation here, but it's still quite broad. It's nothing tight like we like to see with mature supercells that are able to produce tornadoes. So we need to keep an eye on these for now. But for now, we can just take a look at the other risk area up in North Dakota. And same story here. Well, not quite. This really hasn't started yet. We're going to expect storms to fire somewhere in this area later today, probably closer to evening. Kind of on the tail end of the system in Canada, up here in by west of Winnipeg in Manitoba. Yeah, that storm in Chicago was pretty nuts. Getting a lot of flooding this afternoon, but last night, yeah, for sure. Sure, they appreciate the rain though, but that's quite a bit of rain. You don't want to be seeing flooding to that magnitude. I know we need some rain down here in St. Louis. It's getting kind of dry. Appreciate some rain. Yeah, we have a special weather statement on here for Colorado. Nothing crazy, just some 4-mile-per-hour wind gusts and small hail. Sometimes we can see the Denver area and this area, eastern Colorado, pushed up against the Rockies. Sometimes we can see landspouts, tornadoes. Something called the DCVZ, the Denver Convergence Vorticity Zone, or Denver something Vorticity Zone. I don't know the exact term, but it's you can get a lot of spinning storms out there, even when conditions aren't really super favorable, because the higher elevations also plays a factor too. But right now it looks kind of quiet, but you never know. We might get a landspout out here. You know, not impossible. Got some special weather statements out here in Idaho. Got these like pop-up storms. Not supercells or anything, but they're producing gusty winds. Pretty interesting. Let's check back in on our New York storm. Yeah, still rated for 70-mile-per-hour winds. And, oh, you can see them here. That's very interesting. Using the TJFK terminal Doppler radar, we can look at the wind gusts closer to the surface as we would using a next-rad Doppler radar. In this case, it would be KOKX. That scans higher up. It's farther away, and it's typically scanning higher up. But if we use the terminal Dopplers here, we can actually get a good idea of what the winds are closer to the surface. It's not going to be exactly what's going to mix down to the surface, but could give us a good idea of what to expect. You definitely can see like 50, 58, maybe up to 60 miles per hour of these velocity scans here. Probably close to 60-mile-per-hour winds at the surface, and NWS was saying 70. So definitely prepare for 70. Very gusty winds. You don't want to be caught up in that. So take shelter if you're in that warning. that's heading southeast. It's going to go through Staten Island, Brooklyn, kind of going to end up tracking like south of JFK here out into the Atlantic. So not a typical warning you see for this time of year. Yeah, it's a little gusty. I think that's our most significant warning at the moment. Yeah, seems like it. So we're going to keep an eye on this one. I wish we had some cameras in the same area, but maybe we do. Hold on. Do not. No, we do not. Oh, that stinks. Quick water break. These Italian sparkling mineral water, sparkling waters are really good. From Costco. Love them. They're delicious. Highly recommend. Better than soda. Right, let's look at this severe thunderstorm warning by New Bedford, Massachusetts. Definitely more of a damaging wind threat. Smaller hail. That's about to move over New Bedford as it moves southeast, eventually towards, what is that? Martha's Vineyard. So Martha's Vineyard, you're probably going to want to watch this one as it continues to the southeast there. Nantucket Island, past that. Could be some stronger winds with this, up to 60 miles per hour, so definitely don't want to be outside for that. Could be throwing your trash cans and any loose objects outside around, so keep an eye on that. All right. Yeah, we don't have anything super damaging today, but I kind of like going live on these days because, you know, it's not as high stakes. You know, we don't have really damaging weather going on, at least in comparison to the higher risk days. So, ooh, might have a bit of rotation. That seems a bit odd looking. That might just be contamination. Probably just looking at damaging winds here approaching Greenville, Ohio. Coming into Ohio from Indiana, Richmond, Indiana. It's ready for 60-mile-per-hour winds, moving east towards Arcanum, Ohio, Eaton, Ohio. Broadly, if this continues east, it's heading towards Springfield, Ohio, Tip City, that kind of thing. Just north of Dayton. Kind of outside of our main risk area for today, so. Yeah, no, those Italian sparkling mineral waters, they're really good. They're really, really good. They're not flavored, though. It's just sparkling water, but I just really like how they taste. It's a good soda substitute. I need to stop drinking soda so much. It's not good for you. But I do like my Baja Blast favorite soda, but they're so bad for you. I need to cut back. Let's check back on Kansas here. Looks like we do have a chaser in the region here. Let's look at this camera on Burlington, Kansas. Ooh. Hold the phone. That's this storm here by Burlington, Kansas. Yeah, I like soda, but it's so bad for you. Let's keep this camera pulled up here. This is the Burlington, Kansas cyclone port, found in the Radar Omega app. We'll probably put that over here so we can keep an eye on that. But that's our storm over Burlington, just north of Burlington there. So we'll keep that pulled up. I don't want to be showing any chaser streams today. Aid's not going live. I don't have permission, so I'm going to try not to show any chaser streams. So we get a new day 1 slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center. Just monitor to see what they changed. They may not have changed anything. Might just be the same. I don't know if they changed anything. I don't believe they did. Yeah, we won't worry about it then. I don't think they changed much. All right. Yeah, you can see that storm by Burlington has kind of a... Seems like a lowering developing there. It doesn't look like it's tornado imminent or anything, but something to monitor if this thing starts to rotate more. It's kind of got a broad mezzo on it right now, but definitely got to keep an eye on it. Put up full screen for a second. Yeah, definitely have. Kind of looks like a wall cloud developing there. I don't see any, it's not spinning super hard, but definitely got to watch that. Yeah, it's in the perfect spot. We'll keep an eye on this storm for sure. You can see we might be seeing a kind of like hook-like feature right there, but it's a kind of smaller supercells, kind of like mini supercells. They might not be super impressive on radar, but they could be fairly impressive in person and in the storm scale. So we got a monitor. Oh, we got a severe thunderstorm out here for southwest Montana. Looks like we have one of these small pop-up storms. Looks like one of them went severe warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Pretty rural area, looks like. Lima, Montana. Yeah, kind of a little uncommon there, but it happens sometimes. All right, let's go back to this Kansas storm. Definitely our most, I would say, not necessarily concerning, but our most notable for potential tornadic activity right now. Ooh. Okay, these storms here by Osawatomie in Ottawa, Kansas. Especially this one on the right here. Definitely looks like it's trying to tighten up a bit there. Still quite broad, but also have to watch this one too. Kind of broader rotation, but it's starting to look a little more notable. So wouldn't be surprised if these end up going maybe a special weather statement warned or severe thunderstorm warned at some point in the future here. We can take a look at the environment as well for these storms. Oh yeah. Okay, you can see my screen here. This is a mesoanalysis image of Kansas, and this is showing the significant tornado parameter in the effective layer. You can see we have a SDP of around 1. That would mean we have a slightly heightened area of tornadic activity. So nothing crazy, but even take a sounding here using this web page. Okay, that's annoying. That's our SQT, and that's our photograph. Definitely have some enhanced wind shear here around this MCV. Maybe some SRH around 50 meters squared per second squared. Maybe some greater 0 to 3 kilometer SRH, and lots of surface vorticity in 3 Cape. So these storms are an environment that's somewhat favorable for tornadoes, so we need to watch these for sure. Only thing I'm not sure about is the lapse rates. Maybe a little too soggy, a little too low. Might take these storms a long time to get organized, but still need to keep an eye on them regardless. Oh yeah. Yeah, this one really seems to be trying to get its act together here. Also, let's take a look back at our Burlington storm. Wow. Wow. Kind of losing its definition a bit, but there still looks like a wall cloud with this thing. Um, it's not spinning a ton, but you need to watch the bottom here for any funnel clouds or something like that. All right. You almost see a little lowering forming there in the center of the screen there. We'll keep that pulled up. Maybe a bit of rotation trying to form. Very, very marginal, but... Oh yeah, this thing is getting the shape. Yeah, if you're anywhere downstream of these storms, probably need to start paying attention for potential tornado threat in the near future, especially this one by Osawatomie. You can see it's starting to develop that mesocyclone there near the surface. Kind of messy, but if it's able to mature properly and utilize the environment, could produce a tornado. Hello, Kara and Joe. Yeah. Let's check back in with other areas. That's Pennsylvania. New York. Still rated for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Whoa. Yeah, New York City, you're probably getting a little stronger winds now. As that Boeing segment kind of goes through. Brooklyn, Coney Island, Brighton Beach. Definitely want to be not on the pier if you're on Coney Island. Definitely take shelter there. Gonna get windy. Let's take a look back at New Bedford, Massachusetts. Still ready for 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is now just probably past New Bedford. You still will have some rain, some thunder, lightning. But especially as this moves out southeast over the next 10 minutes, Martha's Vineyard, you're probably going to want to watch out for that. 60-mile-per-hour winds and less than an inch hail. Let's take a look back at our Burlington, Kansas storm. Looks like the wall cloud's kind of having a bit of trouble. Doesn't seem tornado imminent or anything. Looks like I might be struggling a little bit. I don't see any kind of like well-defined wall cloud or anything like that. It's kind of ragged. This system is associated with our MCV, or mesoscale convective vortex. It's kind of like a mesolow or leftover area of spin from storms last night that has moved east. You can kind of see it on radar too over northeast Kansas. I think it's somewhere in this vicinity, like that. But yeah, that's what's causing our environment over here in northeast Kansas today. A little bit of enhanced wind shear, which you typically don't get in July. So typically July has lots of instability, lots of moisture, but just not a lot of wind shear. When you do get wind shear in July, sometimes it can go big. Doesn't even have to be a lot of wind shear, just a little bit to kind of kick storms into gear. So gotta, keep an eye on that. But these look like they are kind of having a bit of issues, maybe with rooting to the surface and really becoming mature supercells here. But yeah, I do agree it's struggling. But we still got to monitor it, make sure it's not going to do anything silly. Yeah, pretty much all these storms have, every single one has some sort of weak mesocyclone on it. So everything's kind of spinning in this area. It's just not really able to wrap up and produce quite yet. That might change, so we need to keep an eye on these. I'm surprised these aren't even at least like special weather statement warned or anything. Especially the more robust cells like this one. But that they could potentially issue a warning for that pretty soon. So. Ooh, yeah, you can really get a good look at these from the Kansas City radar. These two here. Oh, and I think we just got a mesoscale discussion issued for this region. I'll pull that up in a moment. Once that loads. They sometimes take a bit to come in. Right. Yeah, they take a while to come in, so I can't just pull it up for you right now. It takes a few minutes to load. Here we go. Here we go. A few damaging gusts and a few brief tornadoes are possible. A watch may be needed this afternoon. Probability of watch issuance 40%. It also mentions tornado 85 to 115 miles per hour, so might see some weaker tornadoes with this activity today in northeast Kansas into western Missouri. They do mention overall weak low-level flow and poor lapse rates may limit the tornado threat. In addition, the atmosphere is quite moist, and the water loading and downdrafts may lead to a risk for damaging winds, gusts as cell cluster with time. Looks like they're somewhat unsure about this, but the activity's there. We need to monitor, so could be some tornadoes today with this activity. But yeah, the lapse rates with this are very poor, and that means storms just takes so long to get going, and it could actually interfere with tornado genesis. Just something to note. All right. Another little sip of water here. Even though this in dual mode, look at both at the same time. Just keep monitoring these. Yeah, our Burlington one is looking really bad. Pretty disorganized. See on radar here, not much of a mesocyclone, and seems like our cell's kind of shriveling up and looking a lot less impressive. We can check echo tops, show us how tall the storm is, and that scan's a little outdated, but we can pull one from KEAX. Yeah, very low topped. You know, we want to see echo tops higher up, like this storm. This storm's up like 50, 51K feet. We want to see storms like that with that kind of echo tops or tops to them. The higher up they are, the stronger they'll be. This one's not very organized, as evidenced by these lower echo tops just under 40k feet. Yeah, I'm gonna say this definitely looks like our most concerning storm in the near term for a tornado. It does kind of look like there's like two different reflectivity cores in here. I don't think it's splitting per se, but it looks like it's still kind of processing that merger, so we need to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, this definitely looks like our healthiest storm at the moment for a tornado threat. So we're going to just keep an eye on that. Yeah, just a reminder, if you guys are liking the stream so far, remember to like and maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing more of these in the future. I just did my first one, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Did my first kind of live stream for this kind of thing, so more is on the way, especially if we have a more active type of day, like a enhanced risk, moderate risk. I will try to be live for that, so definitely like doing this. It's pretty cool. There's also quad view, but that's pretty performance heavy. Like I could put 4, like, try it. This could crash because it's very performance intensive. Yeah, but you can see all 4 in that window there. I would have it up if we're just like keeping an eye on one storm. Let me get rid of this camera. We can see all 4 at once. Our reflectivity, kind of what the storm looks like, our velocity, which is showing the winds in the storm, and differential reflectivity, which is showing kind of like the polarization of different hydrometeors inside of the storm, horizontal or vertical. That's good in like dictating where the big hail is, and sometimes when storms are about to go tornadic, they have a kind of a ZDR spike on them that looks pretty suspicious. And also, it's good for differentiating correlation coefficient in hail, like tornadic debris, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think I'm going to stick to dual panel just because it runs a little better. It's very performance intensive to do the quad view there, and I don't have a particularly beefy PC, so we'll stick it to that. And in this case, I don't, tornado isn't on the ground, so I don't think we need to really have a CC and ZDR up as well. You can just keep it like this. Yeah, just some broader rotation on that thing. You can see from the Topeka radar, starting to see an enhancement in that mesocyclone there, getting a little stronger. Take a peek back at this camera. Yeah, that's not looking too healthy. Looks like it is kind of struggling, disorganizing. Also got these storms down here, west of Burlington. Yeah, a bit of a meso on that one. It's kind of in a radar hole. It's in between both Wichita and Topeka radar. Can't really see very well what's happening there. Definitely looks like there could be a, a strengthening supercell there. Hey, Palumbo. Those can't be on KTWX for now. We could see one of these go tornado warned at some point, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. Check our alerts for anything substantial. 60-mile-per-hour severe thunderstorm warnings are pretty standard. It's like the threshold for a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm mainly looking for anything like destructive, considerable, 10-mile-per-hour plus, larger hail, stuff like that. That's a little more concerning for people in the path, so I like to cover that. Any of these kind of like pretty standard severe thunderstorm warnings and like special weather statements and stuff, even flash flood warnings, you know, they're not too life-threatening or anything. That you definitely want to be in shelter, but I want to kind of reserve coverage for like the more substantial warnings. I'll still like cover them if I see them and let you guys know. But yeah, it's kind of moving out of the range of the camera now, so we might have to. But we could see this storm maybe track towards the camera. That could be a good thing for us. We may be able to see this thing as it moves northeast. Yeah, this storm by Osawatomie, I mean, definitely our most organized storm at the moment for tornado activity. It's kind of hard to tell on this radar, but you can definitely tell on the Topeka radar. There is a definite mesocyclone here. Whether that's near the surface, I'm not too sure, because we're probably scanning quite high up from both radar sites. Yeah, if you're in Osawatomie, definitely want to be watching this. Can't rule out a tornado sometime soon if this thing can organize. I would expect. Oh yeah, look at that. See that mesocyclone ramping up like that? Strengthening every scan, getting a little stronger. Yeah, this thing, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up going tornado warned pretty soon. Check from this radar. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in dual panel mode again. We'll keep it on KTWX for now. Yeah, if it continues to tighten up, yeah, next scan or maybe the scan after that, they might end up tornado warning this thing. Looks like we have some chasers on the way. Yeah, but I'm not going to show their feeds. Yeah, there's only one chaser I have explicit permission for to use her stream, and that's Aiden. I'm not making any, like, I'm not monetized. I just started doing this, so I'm not making money off of the stream, or this is purely just kind of a passion thing. But still, I don't want to use a stream if I don't have explicit permission. So, yeah, and I'm not some like super large channel or anything, so there's a lot of larger channels that have explicit permission from these chasers to use their feeds. So I'm very conscious about that. I don't want to be pulling anyone's feed off of their, even from Radar Omega, because it's as a chaser, like you really gotta like, you're very protective of your IP and your property and your footage. And you don't want someone just going out and stealing your stuff, right? Like without asking. Like at least if you can come to some agreement and talk to them about it, and you come to some agreement, you could maybe do that. But if I don't have any communication with them, not that I would at this point anyway, because I'm such a small channel. Yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead and start ripping people's footage for my use. So. But Aiden was nice enough to let me use his, so if we ever see him out chasing, I should have an opportunity to use that and show you guys. And then I'm always going to redirect you to his channel. Like if I ever have any chaser up who wants to show their footage on here, I'm always going to provide their link to their channel in the description and tell everyone to go and subscribe and like their stream too, because there's no reason this needs to be like an exclusive thing. Like there should be really a kind of mutual kind of help between these channels and stuff. Like, I mean, not help is the right word, but yeah, Kara. There needs to be some sort of like mutual like support between channels. Like, I find it kind of lame if like a, you know, like a big streamer or something like takes a chaser's footage or something and just doesn't do anything for them in return. I mean, that's their livelihood. You need to be able to support them and help them out, you know. They're not giving it to you for free. I mean, some people are, I guess, but at least that's not the way I would do it. But yeah. And I do chase myself occasionally when I have time. So it's not impossible you guys could see a live stream of me chasing eventually. Just taking a break right now because I have some stuff going on, but I would like to eventually go ahead and do a chasing stream. And yeah, this thing's probably going tornado warned probably in the next few minutes. Yeah. Yeah, you can see the shape better from the Kansas City radar. You can see that hook trying to form. Just went special weather statement warned. Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and half-inch hail. It's probably under severe limits, so they can't warn it for a severe thunderstorm warning, but I would imagine they're probably getting ready to tornado warn this thing. Yeah, I'd love to do a chasing stream. I was going to do one a few months ago in Florida, when I was back in Florida. But my streaming setup was so bad, and it was so horrible to look at, and like the quality was so bad, I just decided I'm not going to do it until I have better equipment. So I do have a lot of the equipment I need to start doing live streaming. I think the only thing I'm missing at this point is my cell plan for my streaming encoder. The modems I have. I think I just need to get the plan, get the physical SIM cards, and start paying for a monthly plan, and that's really all I have to do. I'm not gonna have a Starlink or anything, because they're expensive. And the plan's expensive too, so I'm just gonna stick with 2 cell networks, maybe 3 eventually. But I would love to like stream down in Florida, like the pulse storms we get every summer. Those are always really fun. Sometimes you can get a water spout, but yeah, I'd love to do that. Sounds like a lot of fun. And it is a lot of fun chasing those storms too. We'll keep it on Kansas City radar. Yeah, Osawatomie, you have a rotating supercell heading pretty much right towards you. I don't think a tornado is on the ground, but we might be gearing up to see one here soon, so you want to keep an eye on this one. I don't think any of these other storms have really gotten going yet. This is kind of our lead storm, so it's definitely going to be favored for tornadic activity here. Pull up mesoanalysis even, we can take a look. Oh, that's not right. There we go. You can see it's kind of like on our edge of our STP thing here. Looks like our low-level wind shear is a bit limited, like the SPC was saying. We're not seeing a lot of low-level turning, especially under 1 kilometer. You look at our storm relative felicity, 0 to 1 kilometer. That'll tell us pretty much how much shear is in the lowest 1 kilometer to allow storms to rotate and produce tornadoes. We don't have a lot. We have generally just 50 meters squared per second squared. That might increase as we get later into the night, but so that kind of explains why storms might be struggling a little bit. Is because there's just not that much of a low-level shear to be had here. Could see a sort of nudge kind of activity from the storm. Probably should do it over here. From the storm here could end up nudging this one to produce a tornado. If anyone's familiar with Cameron Nixon, his research kind of taught me that these supercell interactions can actually end up helping for tornadogenesis and things like that. So not impossible we could see this storm by Osawatomie produce a tornado as a result of some kind of interaction. Oh yeah, I know. I'd love to have the Accord out in action. It needs a wheel bearing, I'm pretty sure. I think my front left or front right's going out. So when you turn, it's making that helicopter noise, like the that kind of thing. So I need to get it to the shop or have my brother work on it with me back in Florida. He drove on a wheel bearing in his car for like 75,000 miles and it never blew up. So yeah, it could be brakes, but I just had the front brakes done, which is weird. Unless like I don't know, I do get a bit of brake noise. Yeah, that's why I'm not sure. It's either a wheel bearing or something going on. But it's whenever I turn left, like at a kind of a bank, like a good amount, I should say. Yeah, I was thinking that too because the brakes do make noise. They do kind of like make that squeak, and I just got them done, so it doesn't make any sense. Uh, and then when I come to a stop, I kind of hear like a thunk kind of noise, but it's not a suspension noise. It's like the brakes. It might be a dust shield, like you're saying. I don't know, but it's something's up because I still get vibration when I'm driving. I still get like kind of wanders a little bit. Like there's a bit of wandering going on. Um, yeah, I believe it was ceramic pads. I don't know what. I don't know though. Check. The shop did my brakes a bit ago. That was like what, February, I think. Yeah, I don't know. But regardless, the car still kind of wanders a little bit. Like the alignment's fine, but it just kind of goes and drifts a bit. I've had the tie rods done. I've had the struts done, all four, all of them. Uh, I think the next on the list is my control arms. The boot on some of them was starting to tear a little bit. They said they didn't look like they were bad though, but they looked like maybe eventually I would need to replace them. That was the upper control. I think it was the lower control arm, but yeah. I don't know if that the control arm can cause some of that like wandering, but probably can. Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. I don't think the bushings are like that screwed up though. I don't know. I'll have to look and kind of pry at it with my brother. I need an oil change too before I go home. We put some Restore and Protect in it 6,000, 7,000 miles ago. I haven't changed the oil, which I need to do before I leave. But it's like up here, I don't have jack stands. I don't have anything to do it myself. It's all at home, and I have to drive 1,000 miles to get home. Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna have to change it soon. It's like, yeah, I'm not giving it over 10K. It's gonna be like 8K or something at most. I've gone longer without an oil change in this car. Terrible to say, but I have when I was a kid. But there's a Valvoline down the street that has decent reviews. Do I want to chance it and be like, hey, can you do my oil change? Because I guess worst case, I end up leaving with no oil. They don't do the drain plug right or something. Also, I don't know if they do Restore and Protect if you ask for it. Like, can I go and ask for them to put Restore and Protect in there? Because it would kind of suck if I just like I put Restore and Protect in it last time with my brother. I'm just gonna like just do standard oil. Yeah. Or I could just say screw it and drive all the way home another 1,000 miles and then do the oil change when I get home. That's another 1,000 miles in the car. Yeah, my brother said we should flush it a few times with Restore and Protect just to make sure we get everything out. You know, if there's any carbon buildup or anything. We just went severe thunderstorm warned. Yeah, we just went severe thunderstorm warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds, less than an inch hail, 3/4 inch hail, penny sized. There we go. Yeah, maybe that's not it. Maybe I just need to do it, but I actually have Addie's brother coming over tomorrow for her mom's birthday, and he knows how to work on cars. So I might just ask him like, "Hey, do you want to like help me do my oil real quick?" Like I'll go get the filter and the oil I need, and we can just do it if you have jack stands. Yeah, the Accord's a beast. It's never failed me. Knock on wood. It's never failed me. It's a good little car. Funny thing is, the only time it's failed me, where it's left me stranded, well, one it was just a dead battery. I just got a new battery. But uh, the only time it actually like failed me, it wasn't even me. It was my dad. So it left him stranded at Publix once because the starter died. It like completely just crapped out. Um, and it wasn't even me. It was my dad. Like he drove my car just one random day, and it crapped out on him. The car has never left me stranded. I don't really consider I don't really consider the battery like stranded because it's just a dead battery. I just had to go to AutoZone and get a battery. Like that's it. It was not hard. But yeah, Osawatomie, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail. Stay indoors. Tornado threat isn't looking as concerning as it did earlier. Still, I wouldn't rule it out. But storm's taking a bit to get organized. You can see our 5% tornado risk here. We're kind of more focused on the southern tier of that. So kind of wondering if this isn't our lead storm. It's not the storm that's going to be kind of producing tornadoes, or we favored to do so at least. It's got a mezzo on it, but kind of wondering if this one might be a little healthier. We'll see. So you guys see that? Also looks like we have some sort of northward lifting boundary that this thing could grab onto. So boundaries can enhance tornado potential because it gives an additional bit of spin to these storms, especially if they're lacking kind of low level wind shear. It can kind of augment that and increase that wind shear. Nice, Plombo. Still got my sparkling mineral water. Kind of surprised we haven't had a tornado warning yet, but it's still only like 3:45 p.m. Yeah, that sounds miserable. This storm is kind of taking its time. That's a good thing. We don't want this to drop a tornado over town, but... Oh yeah, I should look at that. Thanks for reminding me about the New Jersey portion of this. Let's take a look at that. I don't know where in New Jersey you are, but yeah, it looks like these storms here. Also got this little cell coming to Delaware. Spinning a little bit, but it probably just small hail, not a tornado threat or anything. This is your line of storms right here. You can see your outflow boundary right here. Looks like portions of the line have it out in front of it. Yeah, wherever that you can have that outflow boundary kind of tucked into the storm might have a kind of mesovortex kind of spin up type thing. Oh, like right here. Okay. Yeah. So good news is that I'm pretty sure this outflow boundary is going to reach you before this storm kind of complex even does. So that's good. Should make sure, I mean, you're pretty much no risk of a tornado at this point. Probably just damaging winds. Probably nothing too crazy. I mean, you've gotten these like wind threats like over and over and over this year already, this summer, so probably nothing new there. 60-mile-per-hour winds and less than a quarter inch, 3/4 inch hail. Oh, this is law enforcement confirmed. So it looks like we have some reports of stronger winds in this. You can see it from the Philly terminal Doppler. There's your gust front. See the winds in there are like, yeah, upper 50s miles per hour, 58, 60. Maybe a bit of a mezzo, the little mezzo here, but I mean, it's probably going to get undercut by the gust front anyway. Tornado threat's very, very low. You've got one tomato plant you need to secure. Yeah, definitely. You probably hold off on that for now. But when this line gets closer, and if it's not weakening, then you might want to go ahead and secure that. Brookhaven, New York. You got your line segment going out over the Atlantic next 20 minutes. 6-mile-per-hour winds, pretty typical. Massachusetts, you're pretty much done. Good news, Martha's Vineyard. That storm has completely disintegrated, so all you got is rain now. No severe thunderstorm to worry about. So that's some good news. Special marine warning, though. Wind gusts 34 knots or greater. Let's check back in on our tornado threat. Still not looking that great. This looks like it disorganized a bit more. Taking some mergers. We still have this outflow boundary. That could be something to note. Let's look back down to the south on this storm. Yep, pretty everything's looking pretty disorganized. Definitely a good thing. I don't even have tornado possible on this. That's pretty surprising. Yeah, it looks like a mess. Wondering if our tornado threat today may be a little less significant than previously thought, but we'll see. I think those low lapse rates will end up affecting things probably. Oh, might have storms trying to go up in North Dakota finally for that portion of the risk. So we got to monitor that. Might see stuff start happening up there. That's part of our 2% tornado risk for today. It's up here through Grand Forks, Fargo, up into northern Minnesota and North Dakota along the border with Canada. And as a reminder, we have our 5% down here. We definitely got the supercellular mode. You can see all these supercells. Plenty of supercells, but just don't think there's enough low-level wind shear to really kick things into gear here. So it might be kind of a more isolated thing instead of what we thought. But you never know. Might have to wait a little bit. Look at all these damaging wind reports out of the Northeast. Quite a lot of wind reports. Even in New York. Tree down, tree down, tree down, tree branches down. Yeah. Trees on wires. A lot of damaging wind reports out of the Northeast today. So New Jersey, yeah, Palombo, probably want to keep an eye on these if these can stay together. Might have some tree branches coming down or stuff like that. But we'll see. Let's look at the cyclone port. Good suggestion. Yeah, that's it's just some clouds. No wall cloud or tornado or anything. So that's good. This one's starting to catch my eye now. This one by Waverly, Kansas. This one right here. It's behind our. Oops. It's behind our main storm with a severe warning, and it is spinning. It's got a bit of a meso developing, so need to keep an eye on that. But right now, still broad, still very broad. Oh yeah, you definitely don't want damaging winds and tons of rain then, Plombo. That's for sure. Hoping it weakens before it gets to you. Let's check the environment over Kansas again. Should still be favorable. I don't see anything suggesting it wouldn't be. You know, I think what I eventually want to do is I want to have some sort of a ticker at the bottom, like that would show like severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, and it would like wrote kind of like a news, whatever it's called, ticker thing. I don't know, but it would go through and it would show the different warnings and stuff. I think I can code one myself, but I don't know. There's one I can use, I think, but. Um, okay. Yeah, I'm looking some stuff here. Yeah, like penguins. I'd actually appreciate that. I'm just trying to figure out a way that would kind of work with my setup. I mean, I have some scenes set up in OBS for all this, but I'm thinking just across the bottom of the screen where you see like reflectivity and all the Radar Omega kind of like buttons and stuff, I'll just put like a scroll bar or whatever it's called. I think I need to ask Vince about that. Yeah. Kind of enhance the viewing experience. Everything's still kind of cobbled together at the moment. So yeah, this storm by Waverly is continuing to look a little better. It's going to have mergers to contend with. Just really, really messy kind of storm mode now. A lot of rain. That might be causing some problems with the supercells organizing and stuff. Might be kind of difficult for them to kind of mature if they keep getting hit by mergers. Take a broad look. Ooh, we got a considerable flash flood warning for Las Vegas, New Mexico. Like every other day this week. It's like they get one thunderstorm out here, it's like immediately like a flash flood emergency. But yeah, if you're in this Hermit's Peak, Montezuma, New Mexico, Canoncito, Sapello. Gonna want to be in higher ground because that doesn't sound fun. Oh, we got a severe thunderstorm warning for California. Wow. Yeah, out by Topaz Lake, Nevada, Double Spring, Topaz Ranch Estates. Quarter size hail. That's surprising. And a bunch of rain for Cali, at least northern Cali. Check back in on our storms. Kansas. I mean, we definitely got that supercell shape, but it's just, we look at velocity and it's kind of a mess. I wonder if the Burlington camera can see anything. Nope. Nothing at all. That stinks. I'll just keep an eye on this. And this wave really storm too. Yeah, someone needs to rotate that cyclone board around. Yeah, we need some stationary storms. Like that one in Nebraska in June. That just sat there and dropped the tornado. That was so cool. Right. We're seeing some slow intensification here. By Waverly. Got that shape to it, but got some broad rotation. I think it actually does look better than our storm to the east. That is still quarter size, 60-mile-per-hour winds. No tornado possible. Yeah, that's just a mess. I don't know if you heard that. Hope you didn't. Did anyone hear that like Windows noise? Hope no one did. Because it shouldn't have played over your speakers. You did hear it. Okay, you should no longer hear that. That should not be playing. All right. Yeah, I forgot to mute the audio source from my desktop, so that's probably what you heard. Let's go check back on New Jersey. Oh, we have a severe warning for southwest of Washington, D.C. 6 mile per hour wind, small hail. Doesn't look too substantial. And here's New Jersey. Yeah, Palamba, it's kind of looking like this portion of the line that's going to be moving southeast. Kind of looking like that's weakening a bit. You can see our outflow boundary here, push south. I mean, if this was like a supercell or something more substantial, something could definitely ride the outflow boundary and maybe try to drop a tornado, but that's absolutely not going to happen here. This is looking like a pretty poorly organized segment here. I'm not even sure you'll have that bad of winds when it gets there, so that's a good thing. Flooding in Fall River, Massachusetts. Ooh, a lot of rain down here in Houston area, Texas. Lots of rain. Look at that. Tropical rainfall. And over here in Louisiana. This is probably the remnants of our weak tropical system that is now dying. Just bringing a bunch of rain. Over here in Florida, my area I'm from, just have a bunch of pop-up storms. We got that south easterly flow pushing everything off towards Tampa. Sometimes this does result in a few water spouts, surprisingly. You can get that sea breeze interactions that sometimes can be constructive for a water spout or a land spout even sometimes. Pretty cool. It would be helpful if we had a Tampa Doppler up, but we do not. That's very good at sniffing out water spouts with these small little storms here. Typically we get, I think there might be some dry air in place or something, because typically we get water spouts with these like huge like convective complexes that move through, but we're only getting like these very small storms. So that might have something to do with you know, water spout formation here in this area. But I've seen so many cases of water spouts in this area with a easterly southeasterly flow. It's pretty cool actually. Let's check back in on Kansas. Definitely looks like this storm by Waverly Williamsburg is the more organized storm at the moment. Can we see it from the camera? Nope. Darn it. Yeah, we really haven't even had much happen yet in terms of the tornado threat. Probably going to see North Dakota start to firestorms here soon. Or not. We're expecting stuff to form kind of like over here in this area. Haven't seen anything yet. A severe thunderstorm warning for Logansport, Peru, Indiana. 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail, heading towards Peru, Indiana. Tornado threat's very low, mainly hail and wind. That's what I'd be concerned with. Take shelter if you're in that polygon. There's some storms moving through Dayton area. You can see them on some of these cameras. Maybe. You can kind of see them here, but you can see the anvils and stuff, but it's hoping we get like a cool shell flat or something. I don't know if that's going to happen. Some storms here. Northeast of Columbus by Centerburg, Utica, Ohio. Cincinnati area seems to be getting lucky here. Doesn't look like you have any major storms on the way. Yep, clear here in Cincinnati. This is definitely our focus here. So we're going to keep... It still has a very broad meso, but it has been strengthening over the last few scans. Yeah, I believe it. You guys have been not getting a ton of rain. We haven't been either. St. Louis. Let's put this on dual view again. Here we go. Yeah. Kind of a quieter day for sure. Yeah, LA. I believe it. Don't want any fire activity. Yeah, I mean, that's that. Probably give it like till 5 central-ish. If nothing's happening, then I'll probably end it around then. But we'll stay live for a bit more. Give it things to some time to get going here. I don't think anyone else is live. Probably for a reason. It's actually fairly quiet today, so far. Knock on wood. Yeah. It's gonna be fun once we start getting like hurricanes and tropical storms. It's always a fun time of year. As long as they're not like devastating to communities around the Gulf Coast and stuff like that. No, I'm from Florida. I know what can happen. I was in the eye of Milton, passed right over my house. That was a fun one. Took my power out. Then I nearly got hit by EF2 on March 14th in Missouri. That was also fun. Yeah, it passed less than a mile from us, just to our northwest, and it ripped a friend of mine, and Ash or Addie's, uh, ripped her roof off, which was scary. A lot of people in this area had damage. We have siding damage still from that from hail. I think it was a ping pong ball sized hail, up to maybe up to 2 inches. It's fairly large hail for this area, and pelted the crap out of the side of their house. Um, so you can still see the holes. Then it also hit my car, and there's still hail dents on my car. Small ones, but I have hail dents on my car from that. Luckily, I don't really care about my car, so cosmetically, I should say. I do care about it. I know it looks a little rough, and I don't care. But yeah, the RFD took out our power. We had hail-driven RFD, or wind-driven hail in the RFD, and strong RFD took out our power. It's crazy. It was at night, so you couldn't see anything. I was on the back porch looking out and trying to see the tornado, but I couldn't see it. It was like constant lightning. Uh, it's freaky. But I never saw a tornado. It was so windy that entire day on March 14th. Like we had the low pressure was so strong, like the entire day, starting in the morning. Like the wind was so strong. It was like taking our power out, like causing power surges and stuff. Like starting that morning. That's how strong the wind was. It was nuts. Yeah, that day was nuts. If that had happened probably like a month later with better moisture, we probably would have. I mean, it may have been a really bad outbreak. It already was bad, but it could have been a lot worse. If we had moisture up to like Wisconsin, like pretty unbelievable. All right, looks like the storm by Williamsburg, Kansas is taking on some mergers. You can see the meso is intensifying, but again, it's still broad. This probably is going to inhibit tornado potential, unless it can merge with these in a constructive way, but it doesn't look like it will be. So you can see it's just getting a lot of these storms kind of piling in on it. Typically, that doesn't result in very constructive things for the storm. We also may see an increase in tropical activity as we get into August. There's been some hints at tropical development, especially that first week of August. There could be some potential there for that. So definitely have to watch that for Project WeatherEye. That could be an interesting little opportunity there if we get an organized storm that comes towards the mainland. But we're so far out. It could very easily end up tracking into the Atlantic. Could end up not developing at all. It's way too early to say anything. So that's why I'm not. If we get like an NHC outlook that starts showing it, then I might go ahead and show it to you guys. But um, if it's just a signal, we don't have to worry about it. Anyone saying there's going to be a major hurricane hitting the country in like a week is not being honest. It's just simply too far out to say anything. Might be seeing this storm here trying to re-intensify a little bit. And our main storm out here is kind of broadening a bit. I think the mergers are not helping it very much. Look at this other radar site. Yeah, it's going to be some issue today with a few things that are making the setup. Like, I think there would be a tornado already if the ingredients were in place. I think we're missing something today. Still can't rule out a tornado though. Especially with the storm and how discreet it is. It's like in front of everything else. Could have a shot at doing something. Let me look at mesoanalysis. And here's mesoanalysis. This is our effective layer STP, significant tornado parameter. Yeah, it's in front of this storm. It's not too impressive. Not too impressive. I think we're missing a lot of level shear. Cape's fine though. So does energy, just a lot of shear. Alpha boundaries rolling in. Let's take a look at that in New Jersey. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Definitely some stronger winds on the northern portion of this. Well, that outflow boundary. So these are going to be propagating more this direction. This might miss you, or it may not. Not too sure, but these definitely seem like your more substantial storms. Some stronger winds in them. If you look at this radar, maybe we can see the surface winds. Yeah, maybe it's not too bad, but yeah, warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds. At least it's like a bit of a cooling off there. That's good. Back to Kansas. We'll keep monitoring this storm in case it decides to do something. Check something here. Should update. Yep. We don't need that up right now. It's just for reference, but we don't need that. Okay, that's looking slightly more interesting. Let's get out of dual picture. Let's see, we're starting to see maybe a bit of curvature there in the boundary. Maybe it could be trying to go tornadic again. Potentially. Potentially. Let's put it back in dual picture. Still broad rotation, but it might make a chance, make an attempt to go tornadic. So if you're in this warning, Lewisburg, Kansas, towards the Missouri border, definitely want to watch this one. Oh, these lapse rates are pitiful. Yeah, I'm not too impressed, that's for sure. Storms might be struggling. It almost looks like it's rotating in two places. You know, like right here, and like so out in front of the hook, there's that rotation, and back behind it, there's like another area. You can tell it has kind of like that dog leg feature. Doesn't really look like a tornadic supercell. Probably still struggling a little bit. Yeah, so keeping an eye on this one. Went back to the west. Looking like it's struggling, for sure. I mean, these are all struggling. So, yeah. So that's that. It's almost 4:30 Central. Let's go check on North Dakota and see if things have actually started happening up there yet. Nope. You can look at the models and see with HRRR and see what it's showing when things are actually going to start happening here. Oh man, that's not good. Well, HRRR doesn't fire storms at all in eastern North Dakota. Just some overnight stuff. 11, 12, 1 a.m. tonight. So that's probably not happening today. The North Dakota portion, at least. The rest of the risk area, probably gonna verify, I would say. Maybe not the tornado threat here. Like I do think if we would have seen, better lapse rates, this probably would have ended up being a bigger of a deal. But this is still, I mean, it's still ongoing, so we can't really say it's a bust yet. But I mean, looks like there is a bit of a problem here with these storms. They're not just able to tighten up and produce, which is a good thing for this area. Jumped. He went tornado warn somewhere. Scared me. Springfield, Ohio? Huh? Oh, yeah, we got a little QLCS tornado there. Oh, it's right in these cameras. This camera's right in it. Okay. All right. This camera's right in there. Okay. Yeah, we have a QLCS tornado probably about to go through Locust Grove, going through Beatty, Possum Woods, south of Springfield, Ohio right now. And the camera's like right in this thing. Let's full screen this. If you're in this warning, take shelter. This is just east of Springfield, Ohio. Oh, look at the winds there. Wow. Looks like we're seeing... It's probably on the left there. Watch for that wind direction to change. Oops. Some strong winds, guys. Take shelter if you're in this polygon. If you get that warning on your phone, get inside, lowest floor of the building. Basements are preferred. Hold on 2 seconds. Yeah, this is going through the south side of Springfield. Southgate, moving this direction towards Crable Road Farms. Okay. Tornado's probably somewhere in here. Yeah, Possum Road by Crable Road Farms, southwest of Locust Grove. Let's look at the camera one more time. Wind looks to be dying down. I think whatever, yeah, I think whatever happened there passed to the left of the camera, and we didn't end up seeing it. Maybe if I had looked sooner, we would have seen it, but that went toward the warren so quickly, I wasn't able to really see that. Wind's picking up again. This is probably just outflow winds. Well, that was surprising. Good lord. You definitely see it on the next route radar too. Bit of rotation there. What? Okay. Yeah. Definitely a little mesovortex in there. Okay. Maybe we'll check Discord. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That might have gotten directly hit. I'm going to show this. I'm going to show this. Hold on, guys. This was caught by Aiden. I don't know how you... Yeah, I wasn't able to click on the camera. Like, it wasn't letting me look at it. But... I don't know how I can show you this, actually, without showing my Discord messages. But it might have gotten directly hit by that, Yeah, I can't pull it up. Like, I'm clicking on it, and it doesn't let me... Hold on. Hold on 2 seconds while I make an adjustment here. There we go. Yeah, this thing was getting really strong wind as of a few minutes ago. Yeah, if you're in this polygon, I mean, this is strong wind. This is Clark State, downtown Springfield, Ohio. Let's put this back full screen. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, earlier you could see the rain bands kind of just flying through. It was really strong wind. This is still pretty strong though. This is downtown Springfield, Ohio. But I don't think we want to keep that up for too long. Aiden brought up a very valid point. Yeah, this is Springfield, Ohio. Looks like our circulation will be right in this area. Not really picking up any correlation coefficient drop. I guess maybe this could be it, but I mean, it doesn't really, that's open air, so I don't think that would be necessarily tornado debris. All right, that's that. It looks like it's weakening, so I think that was just a brief little spin up tornado in Springfield there. So you guys, once this moves out, you're probably good. This was in a no tornado risk, 0%, I guess, or less than 2%. So sometimes you get these little random tornadoes in the summer. It happens. Check back in on Kansas here. It's like might have a little discrete element there, but doesn't look super impressive. Definitely going to keep an eye on this Springfield storm, see if it can recycle. I don't think it will, but you never know. They continued the tornado warning. Yeah, I think this is probably not going to do it again. It's really not much of rotation there, but there's a little bit. All right. Yeah, still looking pretty mediocre. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Yeah, well out of the way of this camera now. Yeah, just some rain now. So that'll be moving out of Springfield, that area, in the next few minutes. Tornado threat's very low at this point. Probably wrap it up here in the next 20 minutes. It's actually it's Addie's mom's birthday today, so I want to be celebrating that. Oh. See that? That might be another circulation developing by Dolly Varden, Ohio, coming into South Charleston, Ohio. If you're in this polygon, take shelter. We have a tornado. It's not confirmed, but it is radar indicated, and you want to be lowest room of your house, most interior room of your house or building, and basement is preferable. But yeah, if you're in this polygon or even out in front of it, South Charleston, you're just out of this warning. I'd probably treat it like a warning even if you're out of it. Oh, and they just dropped it. Okay. They may reissue it, but they did just drop your tornado warning, so that's good. You're still under a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning with 60-mile-per-hour winds, so maybe it's just a good idea to be inside right now and away from windows, regardless. Can we do dual view here? Yes. No. Why? There we go. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. All right, let's go back to single view. Looks like there might have been something trying to form on the gust front there, but it looks to have kind of broadened out a bit. We'll come back to this if they tornado warn it, but this may just be the gust front propagating out in front of the line segment, so maybe not necessarily something tornadic. New Jersey. Palombo looks like you're lucking out. I mean, there is some heavier winds here, but it's probably going to move south of you, so that's good. Brick Township, Lakewood Township. Here's your alpha boundary. Got some heavier winds in there, you know, your upper 50s, maybe to 60 miles per hour, but this is scanning not at the surface, but higher up. So that's good. Lucked out there. Philly, severe thunderstorm warning. 60-mile-per-hour winds. South of Philly. Pretty standard thunderstorm there. Nothing crazy. Okay, what else? Probably should look back at Kansas. See what's happening here. Oof, it is a mess. Look at that. Just a bunch of showers and storms going up. It's going to make it difficult for storms to produce tornadoes, that's for sure. Too many storm interactions. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing if you want tornadoes, but we don't want tornadoes. Maybe we want tornadoes if they're on an open field and they hit nothing and they're just pretty, but not in a populated area or anything like that. So definitely a good thing that looks like the tornado threat for this area has kind of been, you know, lowering. This is Burlington, Kansas. Just some rain. Just looks like a lot of rain. This area is under a flash flooding risk. I forgot to bring that up. It's under a moderate risk for flash flooding. As you can see here. That's level 3 out of 4 for Hutchinson, Kansas, all the way through Kansas City Metro. So, if you're in this area, definitely keep an eye out for flash flood warnings, flash flood emergencies. We could see a lot of rain in this area over the next few hours. That seems to be the primary threat with this right now. Tornado threat looks to be lessening at the moment. Okay. Got some storms by St. Louis, but they're moving the other direction, so no rain for me. Davenport, Iowa. Get some more flooding. Muscatine, Iowa. Illinois. Got a little convective complex there that could bring some flooding there. Already have some flash flood warnings issued for Columbus Junction, Muscatine, Durant, Wilton, Sweetland Center, Iowa. So keep an eye out for that flooding and seek higher ground if it starts flooding. Okay, what else? Just gonna check back on our line segment. Yeah, I think it has kind of lost the outflow boundary or the gust front. It's probably getting ahead of the line now. So Springfield, you're almost out of it, and then that'll be progressing to the east there. 60-mile-per-hour winds and a tornado remains possible. All right. Well, I may start wrapping things up here soon. Looks like we're not going to get our North Dakota storms today. At least at the moment. Maybe that'll change. I don't know. Kansas looks like it's kind of lessening, kind of weakening out. And our East Coast wind segments or wind event is definitely looking like it's about to wrap up here soon too. But yeah, so I'll probably give it a few more minutes and then I'll probably start wrapping things up unless something crazy happens. We'll see. Also, just wanted to bring this up. We have this line segment or portion of the line. I like the look of this outflow boundary. You can see how it's kind of trying to form a little notch there. This part of the storm. If you can grab that, there is a little bit of a rotation along that boundary. So it's very weak. Probably not going to do anything stupid, but we've seen this before with some of these events out here, where these outflow boundary interactions can sometimes spin up a brief tornado. Just something to note. I don't think it'll do it, but yeah, it's very minor rotation, very minor. Right. I guess we can check other places. Cali is another severe thunderstorm warning. California. The mountains there. Quarter size hail. Yala Bali Middle Eel Wilderness. That's a name. Severe thunderstorm warning over there. And then one for Portola, California. That's for quarter size hail, less than 50-mile-per-hour winds. Heading east towards Loyalton, Chilcot, Vinton. In the mountains out there. So, something to note. Nothing crazy. Pretty much just thunderstorms with small hail. Idaho. 60-mile-per-hour winds and less than three-quarter inch hail. Warned for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And that's what those storms we saw earlier with the small storms with damaging winds on them. Alrighty. Let's go back to this. Alright, I may wrap it up here. Doesn't look like we have much going on, so might just kind of leave it here. Thanks for watching, guys. If something crazy happens, I guess I could go live later, but looks like it's a pretty quiet type day today, so yeah, no problem. I'll let you know when I'm going live next. I'm hoping one of the more active days, but that's tricky because if you know, we have chasers going out, like Aiden's going out, might have to do like a WeatherEye kind of thing. That might be, I could probably manage to do that at the same time as I do these streams, but I'll let you guys know. I know that, let me pull up SBC real quick and show you guys. I know that we have a risk tomorrow, marginal risk, 2% up here in North Dakota, Minnesota again. That's that. It's pretty low end, but day 3 actually looks all right. We have a marginal for Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, North Dakota, South Dakota, and the UP of Michigan too, and then one for the East Coast again. This one has my interest. I haven't checked the models, but could be if things work out, could be a few tornadoes out there in the Minnesota area. So, no, Aiden's been watching that one too, but that could be a potential stream day maybe. Towards, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably won't be able to stream, but there might be some severe weather, like eventually a risk area issued for that, but it's predictability too low for right now. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I will talk to you later. Goodbye.